It is good that you are here. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, was there any music at the beginning? Because I didn't hear any of that.
Oh, really?
I didn't hear it.
Oh, that's not good.
That's all right, maybe so. I didn't hear it.
Well, we gotta know. Here, can you hear this? Did you hear the sound effects? You hear that?
No.
What?
Uh-oh. Some Bush League bullshit. It's okay, man.
Well, that's interesting. The listeners can tell us if they heard it. Hey, listeners, let us know. Did you hear the sound effects and/or music?
How am I going to know what sound effects I have to get mad that you're interrupting me with if I can't hear them?
Exactly. Well, we can restart.
Okay.
I can just launch this up again. 1 second. But yeah, you heard. Mm-hmm. Well. Did you hear that?
I did not.
Oh man.
Welcome to the
wait, we have a listener. Hey guy. Hey Sam, did you hear any of the sound effects or music?
Welcome to Troubleshooting.
Let us know. Welcome to Troubleshooting
with Davin and Andre.
Yeah, and X-Man Dan.
To make sure our sound works appropriately.
What's going on here then? It should be in. All right, well.
We can progress. You can fix it in post.
The other headphones.
Yeah, well, we kind of need this stuff to work here. I can hear you guys. Yeah, but can you hear the sound effects, Sam? Can you hear this? Jean Grey speaking here. Technical difficulties. Yeah, did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody? Jean Grey? That's what I need to know. No? You couldn't hear it? Oh, crap. All right. Well, I'm going to relaunch this too, then. I don't know what that is about. Be right back.
See you next time. Oh, shit. Is the show just me now talking? Oh, crap. I've lost Davin. What do I do? My life's been a lie. Davin's been here to keep everything going. Without him, I'm nothing. I'm eating candy. Okay. Well, I don't have access to all the things Davin does. So if this is being shot live right now, then I don't have access to all the information he has. However, I can talk ad nauseum about ridiculous things. So let me talk about what X-Men related thing I like to talk about. X-Men that I wish we would see in live action we have yet to see. Good question. Good question, Andre, asking to Andre. That would be, for me, I mean, I think they do a lot of little cameos on these shows, so it's hard to keep track of all those ones. The ones that are really given a fair shake.
Hello, everybody. Let's try this.
Was me being in here alone part of the show? Was that Aaron? I was just here alone talking for like 3 minutes, and was that it said live? It still said live.
Yeah, you were still alive. You're still
great.
alive.
So yeah, I just got to hear me announce.
Did you hear Jean Grey that time?
No.
All right, we're gonna see if it's the split. All right, let's try this now. What about now?
I can hear it playing on your speakers, but not
just through our speakers. Man. All right, let's try it without the split.
It's all my fault.
It is all your fault, Dan.
I have this effect on technology.
What about now?
Shows up and ruins everything.
Did you hear Jean Grey there?
No, man. None of this is
coming man. Why is none of this working anymore?
It's not my fault.
All I hear the sweet sounds of this giant bag of candy I'm eating.
All right, talk to our listeners. I might be gone a couple of minutes here. I'm going to try one more thing.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. back to Andre. It's interesting having a dialogue, because I do this on my own podcast where I just talk about my own life as I do as an intro to the show. And I guess you can do that as well right now. Things that I've recently watched and really enjoy in the nerd spectrum, and that what I was going to bring up later on the TV segment of this, would be Sandman. If you're not watching Sandman, I highly suggest it. And if you're one of the people that don't like Sandman, well, I think you're missing the point of Sandman. The only biggest complaints I've seen people have about the show is mostly around the wokeness of the show. And I'm guessing that is predominantly based around the fact that a lot of the cast of the show, characters that were created in the graphic novels, have changed genders or changed ethnicities. And people seem to be upset by that. And I don't understand why people care. What does it matter? I mean, recently, if you listen to WTF with Mark Maron on his podcast, he had Neil Gaiman on it recently, and they discussed that. And Gaiman had said they had literally interviewed everybody possible, like literally for months because of COVID. They've had months and months and years even to cast the show. So they literally had a chance at pretty much everybody out there that would have a spot in this sort of show, and they picked the ones that were the best. And the ones that people complain about, I don't understand why it matters. Like Death's black, so what? Satan is played by a female actress, but in the book, Satan has no penis. We see him as like smooth. He's an angel. So why does that matter? Like, it's just weird. But I really like that people are that upset by stuff like that. But the tone of the show, the heart of the show is very true to the original source material. And it's beautiful. It's an incredibly well done show. And I have nothing but good things to say about it because I love it. It's amazing. Great cast. Patton Oswalt does the voice of the Raven. We have the new guy playing Morpheus, whose name escapes me, but he's amazing. David Thewlis playing John Dee, or Dr. Destiny, if you extend to the comic origins of that character. All amazing stuff. But check it out. It's really, really good. Charles Dance is in it for Game of Thrones. But yeah, gorgeous show. Go watch it. Other thing I was going to discuss is something we don't talk about in the show very often is video games. What video game moments from X-Men? Well, okay, what X-Men video games rather do you like the most? There's been a lot out there. There's been many that I have personally played over the time. But what comes to mind when you think of X-Men and video games? Let us know.
You still didn't hear that. You
Nope,
still didn't hear that, did you? What is happening? Why does all of a sudden our stuff not work? What's going on here? Dan says it's him. He throws off technology just by having him around.
Yeah, I'm actually Bedlam in a Wolverine disguise.
You just give off a low-level EMP everywhere you go?
Apparently. Did I click something here? I don't know, man. What does it count for?
Would you like to postpone the show?
What?
So would you like to postpone the show?
Fuck, man, that's really annoying. What's going on? I don't.
We can do a lo-fi episode. That's fine.
Lo-fi. I have so many good
ad-lib all of the sound clips.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do impressions.
But I have so many good ones.
Yeah, that's your Corsair impression.
Oh well, good. I just do Jonathan Frakes.
My Corsair impression.
It's got to be good.
I don't understand why this isn't working.
You busting out those impressions. Only get some Corsair impressions. They better be good.
Oh no, that's not good. Very echo. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know how to fix this problem, it seems.
You missed me talk about how much I liked the Sandman TV show.
Oh, do you like it?
A lot.
Still didn't hear that. No. Nobody can hear anything. This program is not working anymore. Maybe, hold on. Maybe it did something. No. Because that doesn't make any sense. I reset my computer and everything. Even turned it on and off again. Back away, Dan. Let's see if it's your EMP.
Let's go upstairs for a second.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know. Default should be, yeah.
Maybe the program's like, we don't like the anonymity of that mask.
Oh, where's the audio here? Yeah. Default, yeah. Oh no, there's the problem. Aha. We got this. We got this now. All right, here we go.
Whoops.
Here we go. I think I fixed it. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah. Can you hear this?
It is good that you are here.
Yep.
Oh wow. We're going live. Let's start this shit over again. All right. We got this. Sorry about that.
Sorry, everybody, for 12 minutes of technical difficulties.
Sorry about that, everybody. We're starting the show. A mulligan. All right, let's do it. We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. And what was the technical difficulty?
It's especially good that you're here after all those technical difficulties. Thank you, everyone who's still watching. Oh, I had it set on my microphone and not my mixer. So it wasn't pulling in the extra stuff. It was just going off the mic. But we're here now.
Help me to prepare the others.
For what?
For X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show.
I am
Starjammer, your host. And with me, as always, is my co-host.
Impudent rebel dog. Pirate traitor.
Yeah, that's all pretty accurate.
All those things, but of course, Andre. He's here.
Andre. That's right.
Yeah, of course, Andre's here.
And I wish I had ye pirate, ye scurvy sea dogs.
Yar, ye matey. I have a pirate.
Yar, me matey.
I'm Captain.
I send you to the briny deep.
Where are all the swords?
Yeah, we are bringing it from Pirate Central here in Nova Scotia.
I was going to go with a Somali pirate theme. So I just watched, instead of this episode, I just watched Captain Phillips.
I saw that one not too long ago.
I am the captain now.
Yeah, I am.
Wildly inaccurate. I guess the real Captain Phillips was not that nice of a person. But, Tom Hanks makes everybody likable, so.
He does.
It's tough to be nice.
Apparently, the real Forrest Gump was a real asshole.
Yeah, he took all that shrimp money and used it for racism. What a dick.
We have a guest.
Identify yourself.
Hi, everybody out there. X-Man Dan.
Dan's here.
Longtime friend and sometimes co-worker of Davin.
Sometimes Cal Dodd impersonator.
Sometimes Cal Dodd impersonator of Davin. And
Davin is hired for personal parties.
Yeah,
yes.
Sometimes. Yeah.
You just show up at his birthday and act
Davin's gloves on.
Dan's the only reason I throw the party in the first place.
Just an excuse to get him there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really am the proportionate height Wolverine, so that helps. A cool 5'3", 300 pounds. So.
Yeah, exactly. Pure steel and muscle.
Pure steel and muscle.
I like him. But yeah, so super happy to be here, and thank you guys for both having me on. Big shoes to fill, obviously. The great Dave Nader.
Oh yeah.
But also all the other prestigious guests. So yeah, it's an honor, and thanks for having me on.
Oh, we're happy to have you.
Yeah, man. So, do I have anything started off here? Yeah, I do. I have a segment for us. Why not? Reflections with Dan.
Reflections.
Yeah. What did you think of the Phoenix episodes leading up to this one? Any thoughts?
Well, of course, the last episode was a banger where everybody it's got its own internet fame. Gonna be honest, wasn't super familiar with the whole meme dynasty that was that episode, but a big fan of Banshee as a character. I agree with all the Cole's notes. I'm glad to see going actually into space is a big thing, and really I can't express enough how awesome the Gladiator coming in and just mopping the floor with everybody was.
Yeah.
From my I think Gladiator's great. He's such a dumb character.
He's so much, but superior to Superman in every way, which I believe
you can't say that. You can't say that.
I think I proved that last episode. Go back and listen to it, listeners. Let me know. Yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties again, everybody. That was brutal. Thanks for your help there, Sam. Really appreciate it. Thanks for putting up with solo Andre as well, everybody. I know that must have been tough.
Yeah. Hey, it was tough for me. So think about them. I don't like to deal with me all by myself. I'm terrible.
I guess we didn't mention this yet, but we're here to review Season 3, Episode 6 of the Phoenix Saga, Part 4, The Starjammers. Written by Mark Edens. So the Edens brothers finished off this saga here. Well,
what did I tell you about?
No, I guess there's one more. There's one more. There's one more. What? And then
what we call them from now on?
The brothers Eden.
Thank you.
Yes, exactly. My mistake.
Thank you.
Directed by Larry Houston. Yeah. Andre, you have a guest
to the show. No, we wasted enough time talking about.
Well, we still have to go over the episode.
No, we don't. Okay,
that's why everybody's here.
Stuff happens. Someone almost dies. There's a dad. It's over. Good episode.
There's a dad.
There's a dad. Nobody knows.
There's a dad. There's
is he a dad?
B says some ridiculous stuff, and then a lot of stuff happens. So, in the end, good episode. 8 stars out of 25. And thanks for tuning in. I'll see you later.
Wow.
Yeah,
that was our best episode ever.
I think we're gonna unravel the complexities.
I changed our rating system. It's a 25-star system, and we're allowed in quarters this time.
Then I'll kick us off.
No, I'll start.
Previously,
all right.
on X-Men.
Yeah, we do gotta do that.
Yeah, we do. Previously on X-Men.
Crystal is here. I can feel its power.
A lot of evil laughs in this show. A lot of evil laughs.
But few compared to Sinister.
Of all the villains I think we've seen in the show so far, though, Diken is the most just purely evil and insane. He's just completely off his rocker.
Adorableness is coming into the
we got Millie here.
Oh, Millie, hello.
You should have named her
so much
B'ni.
more comfy in her environment now that it's some weeks gone by.
Yeah,
should have named her B'ni because she always hangs out on your shoulder.
It's true.
He's adorable.
And I have to name myself.
Or
Cecile.
Zax. What's that little thing that Chode?
Oh yeah, Zax. Or something like that.
Something weird.
Yeah.
Too many consonants.
Oh, the little thing on the dude's shoulder. Yeah. I was going to talk about that.
We can look that up later.
The old episode. So here we have the Phoenix Saga Part 4, The Starjammers, in which we meet our space pirates, of which Davin is obviously paying homage with that obviously authentic pirate hat from the time period, of course. So after sending
space period,
he pulls out like the old timey, a spyglass, and he's Jack Sparrow's the whole thing. So after sending Gladiator back to space in the last episode, Phoenix is recovering when Diken's ship is drawing ever closer. Phoenix explains that they need to fight to save the galaxy, the crystal and all that stuff that we sort of established earlier, that it's evil and that could be used rather by evil people to cause havoc on the galaxy itself. She then says they have to do what they can to stop him and flies off into space with the X-Men, leaving Dr. Xavier behind, who's like, no, why are you leaving me behind? And she's gone. It's not really clear why she's leaving behind.
Yeah, the Shi'ar ships are very wheelchair accessible.
Yeah, maybe that's
not.
It's a good point. Maybe that is the point.
We can't guarantee ramps, Professor.
Yeah, there's not a lot of.
I mean, I guess he is a floaty chair, so I guess
Yeah,
none of
but
that stuff really matters.
Really
He made
cool.
his
It
own
kinda
accessibility,
up to the ground.
which
There's
says a
no
lot
slide.
about the world. The poor guy had to make his own accessibility.
Yeah, it's probably worth pointing out that the Shi'ar help him walk later in the comics, right?
True, and probably in this show. I don't know.
So they
that
wouldn't
for sure,
have
but-
wheelchair ramps because they would just be like, everyone we have just has genetically
we just-
modified legs to be able to walk or whatever.
Yeah.
Cyber
no
tech. I don't know how they do it.
But Phoenix is like, no time for that. We got to go to space.
Yeah,
He's like, my life could be changed.
He's like, but
Why?
please, it only takes seconds. It's future science. And then it's gone. Ah, damn you, Gene. That's good. So yeah, it leaves him behind. He seems visibly upset that he's left behind.
I was
as she
heartened
goes,
to discover that you were not a figment of the professor's unbridled imagination.
As I'm sure you were heartened to discover, I was not a figure of Davin's unbridled imagination.
There actually was an
Yeah.
X-Man Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, does it?
I
That sounds
was starting to discover that. I feel like maybe it appeared to Dan in a fever, or to Davin in a fever dream, or some kind of alcohol-induced coma. But apparently, unless I'm experiencing the same dream or coma,
Yeah.
maybe we all are just figments of Davin's imagination.
Maybe there were no technical difficulties.
Maybe none of this is real. Maybe we're all just in a snow globe at the end of Hill Street Blues.
What's an
That's a
X-Men?
really- That's a really dated reference, but maybe it's like the not the Wind Waker. What's the Legend of Zelda game when it all turns out to be a dream at the end? It's for the
Super Mario
NES
2?
or for the Game Boy.
Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening, yes. That's a
Or
great
Super
game.
Mario 2.
Yeah,
The wind was
I
it the
never had that one
windfish,
for Game Boy.
the giant windfish. Yeah, it is Super Mario 2 as well. But the giant windfish or whatever that's dreaming at this whole island into existence and all these people.
Mario 2 was a fever dream.
Well, there's a lot of interesting stuff about the making of that game. So it wasn't really supposed to be Mario 2. It was supposed to be another game entirely that they just skimmed as Mario 2.
Toki something.
But it's still fun. I mean, Wart was a fun villain.
Oh yeah.
And you got some turnips.
In
to
our
play around with.
hands lies the fate of 1 billion star systems, of lives beyond measure.
Just what I wanted to hear.
Just what I wanted to hear.
That was very rude. I would like to spend more time talking about Super Mario Brothers 2. I think I'm going to return to that subject, and I'm not going to let it go. Okay, so Super Mario Brothers 2 began on a cold, sunny morning. I'm kidding.
Luigi or Princess or Bust? No, they all have their merits.
It's in our hands here on the X-Rated Review Show.
Yeah.
That's true. The Macron crystal is important, as she mentions. And do you have? I'm assuming once they appear on Lilandra's ship after she teleports them there. What do you have? Wolverine's lines? That's another one of his funny little lines. I assume you must.
Did we get that far already? What line are you talking about?
I should have taken the bus.
Oh,
Next
yeah,
time
I
we'll
did
take
that
the
one.
bus.
Next time I'll take the bus.
Yeah.
He's just not a fan of any of the ways of getting places anyway. I mean, it's tough picking. Banshee last time complaining about that ride.
Well, that's
right.
not a good ride. He has sensitive hearing.
It's so ridiculous too. Like glasses shattering, like people's eardrums bursting anytime he has to travel anywhere.
Wolverine's
Yeah.
yelling,
Banshee,
"Put me
quick, we have to get
down!"
to-
But Banshee can't hear him.
Wolverine's the only one that can survive that move.
Quick, we have to get the other side of town to save this burning building. All the windows splatter out. People are getting shredded by windows all the way from there to the scene of the emergency.
His eardrums keep exploding and healing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I guess so.
You
If you don't like that,
would be-
if you don't like that, you should hear me sing.
That would be horrible.
Yeah, so we get to the ship, next turn teleported there. Also we established that Beast has returned to join the group, so the group is more familiar now. There on the ship they learn about the Macron crystal, that it's kind of a collapsed galaxy in itself, I believe, or a lost galaxy of some kind.
Yeah, it is a negative galaxy in there.
Negative galaxy, that's the phrase they use. And
How
at
you
one
fit
point,
a whole galaxy in there? Its faceted
Solid.
configuration gives the crystal infinite storage capacity for refracted light energy.
Damn it, though. It's like, how do you fit a whole galaxy in it?
even with the rudimentary knowledge of science as one such as I or you fine gentlemen probably have, what Beast just said is utter utter
the
garbage. Like
facets would have to be
the
like
facets are
infinite
literally
facets.
just the sides of the crystal. Like there's so
if
many.
it were
that
to be, if they were
I have
to
a
be
box
significant
with
at all, it would
25
look like
sides,
a,
so I can fit the Empire State Building in it.
you
It
can
makes no
count the
sense
sides on the,
Yeah,
when you look at the crystal. It should be like a sphere with sides so
Yes,
minuscule
the
and
untapped
faceted.
potential of the 7, 8, 9,
52.
8 sides has been enough to encapsulate an entire galaxy within its crystalline gaze. But then there's a funny little line here where Rogue mentions how pretty the crystal is. Do you have that with her and Gambit?
Oh, yeah, I
Like
think
that
so.
shit.
Figured you probably would, because it's a Gambit line. that's
You
pretty
like it,
fun.
Shell? I get you one for Christmas.
She just finished saying how she didn't like it, though. She's
You
just like,
like it,
that's
Cher?
it? And he's just like, you like it, Cher? I get you one for Christmas.
Does anybody else kind of get the vibe that this entire series, Gambit is low key drunk? Like he just seems like
yeah.
a little like
Yeah.
off in the corner, and he's like, "Oh, you like it? You like it, Cher?"
He actually doesn't have a Louisiana accent at all.
It's just when he
him.
drinks, he gets one.
He's just slurring.
He's just
skipping
slurring his
words.
speech. He's just like
Yeah.
leaning up against the wall, like half asleep. Oh, you like it, Cher? And then get you one for Christmas. Get that back up.
I knew there had to be a simple explanation.
Yeah, he's drunk all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I believe it's just throwing empowered playing cards at people all the time, drunk off his ass. I'd like to see a drunk Gambit show. I'd watch this spin-off. Disney Plus, get on it. Drunk Gambit. Part of
Melandra's out cold in a leftover hush puppy.
I don't get that reference. A leftover hush puppy, like the
Yeah, 'cause they're in the fridge. They're
cold
cold.
because the food. Yeah, okay. The hush puppy,
But
the food.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the left out hush puppy be warm because it was left out to melt? I also was like,
No.
Aren't they supposed to be? No, they're warm. They're like brownies, kind of, aren't they? Or some kind of.
I thought they were supposed to be
confectionery?
cold. I thought they were like ice cream sandwich.
Hush puppies. Aren't they like
I've been
potatoes?
conditioned by the '90s to believe them to be a stuffed toy. The kids.
Yeah, wait.
No, they're definitely
or
not a
type of
stuffed
chew.
toy. Are you
Wait,
Googling what
it
hush
is?
puppies
I
are?
am. Hush puppy is.
I'm pretty sure it's an ice cream sandwich.
No, it's not. It's actually
Potatoes.
it's like no, it's like bread kind of. It's made of
Oh,
cornmeal,
like a biscuit.
flour, baking powder. Yeah, it's egg,
It's like cornbread.
onion, kind of. Yeah, it's like cornbread.
Oh, okay.
Wow. All right.
So there you go.
It's supposed to be meant and eaten hot.
They're a
I guess.
fantastic snack when paired with spicy ketchup or aioli. There you go. So I guess they're better served warm. So cold bread's not good, supposedly, in the old Rogue household. So yeah. So then when the ship is hit with a beam that knocks out Lalandra immediately, in which they surmise that the beam was designed to knock out people that were of Shi'ar origin.
Knock them out colder than a leftover hush puppy.
As we see, yes.
It's the hush puppy ray.
Then the X-Men get into it with the people that board the ship, known as the Starjammers. With the new information that Phoenix happens to give Jean Grey, she sort of explains who they are. Do you have that clip?
Jammers. Did Jean Grey explains who the Starjammers are?
Yeah. The clip?
I don't think so. I have this clip.
That's a great expositionary dialogue clip.
Who are you calling ugly lizard lips?
You calling ugly lizard lips.
Yeah, see,
I
that's
like.
a good one.
Well, number one, I like that the Starjammers called them aliens, which is fun. I always hate in movies when aliens don't refer to humans as aliens because we would be aliens to them, of course. So why wouldn't they? Number two, as will be established further in the episode, we know that Corsair is a human. So one of their own is an alien in quotes, but also the group is made up of a bunch of different type of aliens. They're all
They're a
not of the
ragtag
same
crew.
species. So he's like, it's a bunch of aliens. It's like, what are all the other people on your team? They're all
You
aliens.
could call
too.
them the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
I would not call them that. The original Guardians of the
Yeah.
Galaxy were called the Guardians of the Galaxy, created by Jim Valentino in the 90s. They were comprised of Martin X,
Oh yeah.
Charlie 23,
My man.
Fire.
Oh, we
That's a
know.
woman, actually.
Carter.
There was Nikki, and there
The
was
guy that turned into the girl star.
there was
dude.
Yondu.
Star Fox.
Star Fox.
They're Star
Star
Starhawk.
Starhawk, yeah.
The Major Victory guy with the
But
shield.
no one cares about them. People like the Starjammers, and the
I
Starjammers
care a lot
were
about
around
them.
first.
And in fact, you know who does care about them? Mr. James Gunn, because he put them in Guardians 2 and we'll put them again in Guardians 3. So
And those '90s Guardians actually did.
Really?
give
Like
the
Sylvester
70s.
Stallone's going to come in and reprise his role?
I think so.
Yeah, pretty sure.
That's hilarious.
Starcore and Martin X is Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville, played Luther.
Hmm.
And
One of them is
in Shang-Chi,
what's
so
her
they
name?
recast her.
Miley Cyrus.
Don't forget Hollywood.
Miley Cyrus is the voice of the robot, the head, the robot head
That's
they carry
crazy.
around.
I did not know that.
Anyway, yeah, no, I'm totally down to see more of the original Guardians. They're great. I love those comics. In fact, my birthday's coming up, and if any of the listeners out there want to send Andre a gift he would like a lot, it'd be the omnibus edition of Jim Valentino's Guardians of the Galaxy series, because I would really like that.
There you go.
However, actually, it's next. Is it next week? It's next week's my birthday. Yes, but it's on a
Oh,
Wednesday,
yeah.
so you guys can have a special Andre birthday tribute if you want on Tuesday.
Except that we're doing our show on Monday next week.
Oh,
Super
you
late.
son of a bitch.
Yeah, way too early for a tribute.
X-rated the X-Men animated review show. Nights.
Exclusive nights. After dark. we have to do it with no shirts on, but just like in frame like this to just look like we're naked the whole time.
This suggestion just lost you guys a live viewer.
we act like it's one of those late night call-in shows, you know. Pick up the phone.
I managed to get all of Cyclops' dialogue into one clip.
Did you?
Jean? Where's Jean? Jean, it's Jean.
Oh, wait.
One of those was Wolverine.
One of them was definitely.
He actually does have quite a bit of dialogue in here.
Yeah, it's true.
A little bit later on. So anyway, then they battle the Starjammers, who are made up of Corsair. Oh god, I'm seeing I get all their names.
Hepzibah, Chode, Raza.
Hepzibah, Chode. Is that pronounced Chode? Please tell me.
Yeah, it's Chode.
I always thought it was like Odd or something like that.
I
When
like
was reading it because I was like, no, it couldn't
I'm
be.
pretty sure it's Chode.
This is PG. It couldn't be.
Well,
But they're a cool. They're a cool ragtag crew there, and they have more members that they don't.
With the guy whose name. Wait, you don't use the word member when talking about Chode. Then there is Kari and Flashfire. Are those guys all part of the other group?
Kari is the little white guy on Chode's shoulder. And what was the other one?
Flashfire.
Flashfire, Hobgoblin, Hussar, Manta, Starbolt, Smasher.
Oh no, that's all
yeah,
the
now we're into it.
they're all the other guys. Yeah,
Imperial
they're part of
Guard.
the Imperial Guard.
Spoilers.
So, all right. So, yes, they get into a battle with them. Then Cyclops is going to use the abilities to blast away Corsair, and then Jean Grey senses that Corsair is in fact something. Well, we're going to reveal it in a second, but that Corsair is in fact Cyclops' father, and she stops him from shooting him. Corsair calls for them to change.
Nobody can know that.
So the Corsair calls for the other members to change the ray gun to knock out humans as well, and they say, "But," and he says, "Do it." Because as we soon find out, he is also human, so the ray knocks them all out. They take the crystal. They take Cyclops for some reason.
Room to swing a cat in here.
Yes. Do you have more of that cat dialogue? Because there's a lot of
No,
cat
that was enough.
dialogue. But like
one of my
the
complaints about this episode is that later. So.
That
the
there's
cat
not enough
dialogue?
Cat dialogue?
No, that they
Anymore?
just kind of made Hepzibah a weird cat when she's actually.
And they just use straight up cat noises. Like it's not even like it
Yeah.
sounds like it's coming from an adult creature.
No,
That
but
does cat-like.
it sounds like the person making a cat sound at one point. When you throw her, it's like a person making a cat sound. You're just like, ah.
But literally, just most of it just sounds like weird cat noises. Does she purr?
Yeah, she's a weirdo.
Because
Does
that
she
would be
purr?
ugly.
Where they keep their swords and eye patches?
She is
They're space pirates.
super
Yeah.
promiscuous in the comics.
Oh, is
Yeah,
she?
Hepzibah.
Well,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So that like kiss before leaving.
Is it in this that there's a great scene that with Hepzibah in a comic where like she thinks Corsair's dead, that somebody has killed him, so she just immediately walks to the armory
I think that's X-Force
of maybe it was an X-Force. She walks to the armory of the Starjammer, and she comes walking out, and she literally has every gun from that armory strapped to her somehow, and she's just walking out, and she's just like, "Don't worry, I'll handle this by myself." Literally every weapon.
I like
she
her.
had.
My kind of lady.
Hepzibah's crazy.
Didn't she have a thing with Namor?
With Namor.
Yeah, during like either Regenesis or AVX.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But everybody, Namor is also super promiscuous.
Namor does like furries.
Speaking of Namor, are you guys fans of Rick and Morty?
I watched the first season or two.
I'm a massive fan, but in season 5, there's a character called Mr. Nimbus, who is obviously designed around Namor. He's the king of the seas, and he's like super promiscuous, and he's always like thrusting and being super sexual. He'd be like, why do you challenge Mr. Nimbus? And he like humps a little, like he's ridiculous, but he's really, really funny. He's like,
and then there's the Deep.
of course, which is, I mean, I'd say more of an Aquaman dig than a Namor one, but
I think it's a nice little smooshing together. He looks like Namor, but he isn't as self-centered.
yeah, I mean, he's not a king, but neither is Aquaman. So, is there just a baby hanging out now? Is a baby?
Yeah, come on screen for a second there, baby. Now that everyone's heard you, I have to prove there's a real
We all
baby.
know the baby exists. I didn't think the baby
All right,
was.
there's the baby. Very cute.
Aw,
Hi,
that's
honey.
adorable.
You should be in bed. Oh no, now she's having a fuss.
She's like, no. now.
He's like, I wasn't prepared to be on camera this evening.
Yeah, you just
That's right. I'm not
makeup.
prepared. I didn't see makeup or wardrobe. All right. Well,
I did see some
I'm very
snaps.
excited to learn about the creation of a character named Chode. This is lovely.
I was actually.
This has made my day. In fact.
Yeah, a couple of hero clicks. Chode hero
Yeah,
clicks.
exactly.
So just then, they knock out the whole team. They take Cyclops. They take their leader there, and they take the crystal for themselves. Then the X-Men wake up, realizing the crystal and Cyclops are gone. On Ken's ship, Eric the Red is being scolded by the Emperor, who sends a holographic message saying that he will give up the. Oh, sorry. Eric the Red's being scolded by Ken for not, doing what he's supposed to on Earth and getting the crystal and all that sort of stuff. Eric the Red defending himself and trying to make up for it. Yes.
Blundering.
They finally said my name, but they said it wrong.
Devon Shikari.
And Shikari. So then they Gladiator kind of envoys him back to the ship. The guy chews him out. Then they get a holographic message from Corsairs saying that he will give them the Emkron crystal, and Cyclops, if Ken will give up half of the share treasury. Ken accepts, but plans to double cross him and have the Imperial Guard kill him anyway.
Even assuming the double cross, that was pretty ballsy. I won't take everything. I'll take half.
We both had a laugh over like Gladiator literally just like holding Eric the Red ship's hand and dragging him back to the the boss.
Yep.
Literally pulling it back.
It's like, I could just drive the ship myself. No, this makes you look
no.
And not
to hold my hand. It's just like the kid who wants to cross the street. It's like, no, you hold daddy's hand.
Yeah.
You've bumbled too many times. What is it? They blame him of his bumblings and
they wanted him to do everything for them. They're like, go capture Lalandra and the Emkron crystal. The rest of us will wait here.
Have you really
go live on Earth for decades?
Have you fully unpackaged that like Eric the Red based off like a Viking for no apparent reason, but also the only character named Davin?
We were talking about that.
Okay.
There's a lot of similarities between me and Eric the Red.
Which isn't probably my first pick of someone if I would want to be like, yeah, make a character like after my name.
I also failed to kidnap the princess and obtain the Emkron crystal.
Every time I tried, my princess was in another castle. Back to Mario 2. She liberates herself in that one.
The turn up to enemy ratio was quite high in number 2. I have a graph depicting the all right.
Yeah, so the sequel is going to be Mario 2 turn up the heat.
Oh, that is gold, sir.
Zinger.
X-Men Dan is earning his keep here on the animated review show. So then we cut back to Corsair, who is Cyclops in prison, revealing that he too plans to double cross. There's double crossing all over the place here. No deal matters and nothing makes sense in old space. So everybody's just double crossing everybody else. So Corsair reveals Cyclops that he's planning on double crossing to Ken as well. He just the whole point of him trying to give him the crystal is to get Cyclops close enough to use his powers to kill the Emperor. Now, it's interesting to me that Cyclops, why is Cyclops the only one that this guy can find that can do this? Can't you put a bomb in the crystal or do something else? Why does it got to be?
It's
Cyclops?
not as sneaky as eye beams.
Can you imagine how much more effective Wolverine would have been at this task?
Yeah, 100%.
It's literally what he was made for.
Yes, being an assassin.
You have a target.
They're like, this guy shot eye beams at me. He seems like the best option.
Even Gambit could have snuck in there and blew it up.
I gotta say, after watching more and more, I really have a hard time understanding where they draw the line on Cyclops optic blasts. They have such a weird scale of level of power.
Well, he does scale them up and down.
It's true, but usually that's reflected by how the width and of what they are, and it just impacts with more kinetic energy in say the comics. But in this, it's like he can blow a hole through a robot. He can he can disintegrate things coming at people to save them from the impact.
At one point, he
can knock someone and then he could just knock someone sort of casually to the ground or out of someone's hands or my hand no longer have handcuffs.
The best is the tunneling out of the ground though, because he just shoots a beam straight up and they just
or he runs there's one point he's just shooting a beam and running straight as he's running underground. The beam is just blowing away. It's in front of him.
I just had to point that out. There are times where I'm just pick a lane, guys. Where are we going with this?
It's whatever matters for the story they're trying to sell, and that's about it.
Anybody ever
Nothing is
see Undercover
consistent.
Boss?
Sam wants to know if we've seen Undercover Boss.
So is
I
that
don't
Eric-
even know what that is, Sam.
Eric the Red's the Undercover Boss.
Oh,
He's
that's funny. Yeah.
frequently-
So like, yeah, or Deken is. Wouldn't that be great if it was like, say, his undercover job in general was just working at like a donut store, being a manager or something on Earth, waiting for his moment to like, be able to appease his emperor. But like,
I mean,
I would watch that show. Like, if your boss had like a menial job, like in an office, or like The Office, but Michael Scott is secretly an alien warlord.
it would be way better than like the alternative, which is like having your boss replace himself with you, and because of your shape-shifting powers.
Oh, yeah.
Dick
Well, that does
move
come up
as a boss.
Like, a shapeshifter battle. But anyway, so we learned that his plan is to have Cyclops assassinate the Emperor. But then because Deken had killed his wife,
Yeah.
and then we kind of get a few little interludes here of him talking to Cyclops about needing Cyclops to do this, kill his wife, and Cyclops even says, "Doesn't he know you're going to come for him?" He says, "That's what you're for." And and then later on he says, is the whole galaxy is risking the whole galaxy or whatever worth the revenge for life of one woman? And he says, "To me it is," which I thought was a nice little moment.
Mm-hmm.
As
because,
long as I'm captain of this ship, you'll carry out my orders.
Yeah. That was Corsair.
As long as you're under my roof, young man, you will listen to what I say.
Yep.
But he's talking to Raza at that
Yeah,
point.
he's talking to
Yeah.
kind of
Raza.
saying like, you're gonna take over after me.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly. Because if this doesn't work and I die, you need to carry on the legacy of fucking up to kill.
Oh, I figured out why Wolverine's so angry. This is what he hears every time he closes his eyes.
I'm coming, Scott.
That would
He's looking at the painting.
exactly. He's looking at that picture.
Or like the walls are so thin he can hear them having sex in the room next door. He's just like,
Again, sensitive hearing, like as you pointed out.
Although I like how controlled Jean is when she says that. I'm coming,
Scott.
Scott. I'm arriving. She's like glowing. It's like
I am Phoenix.
the flames blow up half of the mansion.
Oh god.
Wolverine's like half his face is blown off through the wall. He's like, God damn it. Just trying to
That's on
look
you,
at
I
just
mean.
try to masturbate in peace in this picture of Scott and Jean Grey. Leave me alone. So so then there's even some fun interludes here where Corsair says along the lines like, I'm from your planet, and then Cyclops like, how's that possible? And he says, oh, it's a long story. Which is right here when they're walking. Man, did you take the screen cap from a VHS copy?
Right.
Apparently.
To track me down.
Your computer has a screen cap button, and if you're watching this on Disney Plus, it's in a pretty high resolution.
Well, I didn't know that.
You can what the screen cap button does. No wonder they're
I've just been taking whatever pictures I can possibly find off of Google Images.
Well, that's what I do for most of the graphics, so I can't fault you there. But and then he even says that he had a lot. And then he asked Cyclops. He said he has kids, and he asked Cyclops if he ever had kids, and he says no, and he says, I finally think about my oldest son. He had the nicest eyes. Or the
mother's
eyes.
His
Mother's eyes.
Even
Heartbreaking.
sadder. Yeah, heartbreaking stuff.
Because I don't know, like, how different do you think a kid looks from when they're? I was going to say from a kid to an adult. Enough that you never recognize them.
I don't know. It depends on the kid, really.
It depends on the
based on-
person. Some people
Depends
change a
on the
lot,
person.
and some people don't.
But he
I look drastically different. I look drastically different than I did when I was a kid. That's for sure. At this point in my life, but I'm also, not the leader of the X-Men. So
I probably look the same.
he does look
Wolverine
quite a bit
might
the
be
same based on the Jean Grey mental flash.
But yeah, in that line as well, he kind of points out that he's as close as he's been in a long time. He's like, I'm so close because they're so close to Earth wherever this is transpiring. I think it's within our solar system, which is why it reeks.
Yeah, because they're on the way.
Mm.
They were on the way to get the Phoenix crystal.
Yeah. So and he's so close, but literally standing right next to his son. God, heart-wrenching.
It's almost Shakespearean in its poeticness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yes, then we get back to Ken. Is that where we're at now?
Yeah,
I don't know.
making a weird face like
That's when Corsair called them up and like.
The first time.
manipulated
Yeah. I like how kind of Egyptian-y he looks.
Yeah, Ken's a cool design.
Yeah.
pink,
The X-Men line.
confident in
Yeah.
pink.
I like pink. So pink and purple are my favorite colors. So you gotta.
Purple's my favorite color.
It is.
That's why you like Gladiator.
Purple's
so
my
much.
all-time favorite color. So
It's a great
that's
color.
why I like Gladiator. Also, Kilgrave, Purple Man.
I'll get you a purple
Green
crayon
Goblin.
for your birthday.
Magneto.
Singular purple crayon.
Magneto's all up in that.
Three shades, different shades of purple.
Magneto's not purple. He's just like red or like burgundy.
No, Magneto
isn't
wears
it?
purple and red,
Yeah, purple and red.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. My brain.
which is
I'm
like the
tired.
weirdest color combination when you think.
But
of
it works,
Actually,
goddammit.
it does, yeah.
Like who else even rocks that?
Purple and red, yeah, not many.
Claw.
Claw.
Ulysses Claw.
Yeah, he's
he's
purple
got
and
red.
red.
No, it's not a
He's
lot
not
of purple
more
in
red
there.
than
It's mostly
purple.
red.
Oh
and-
yeah.
Yeah, no.
Look back at the
It depends on the version, I guess.
Oh,
Oh,
you know who
there he
does?
is, right there.
Warstar used purple and red.
Yeah.
Yes, he is purple and red. You're right.
Hmm.
Andy Serkis wore no purple or red. I don't know what you're talking about.
What a bastard.
What do you know of Wakanda?
Legende.
You know, he uses purple and red now. It's Psylocke.
Mostly
Yeah,
red. Just the
yeah.
purple around the tights and on the headpiece. But anyway, Phoenix. So yeah,
Just
That was a
purple and red
tangent.
tangent. Like
Purple tangent there.
that's what we do. Tangents are what we go off on. It's the whole
It's
point of the
true.
show.
Like that
So,
whole technical
the
difficulties
X-Men
thing was
Laundress-
just an opening tangent.
Yeah, that was a
The
bit.
accidentally launcher still chased it after the Starjammers.
Mhm.
Later, space pirates arrive onto Ken's ship and board it. Soon after, everyone begins fighting. And Phoenix teleports the X-Men onto the ship.
Oh man, this fight kicks off real good.
Start the ball, Cajun. Start the ball, Cajun.
Also, there's a point when the X-Men are on their way to the fight where they're sitting on the ship waiting for something to happen, which is like Beast is like following the ship on the computer, and Gambit's just throwing cards into a pot, like just into the wall.
Needless
And then Wolverine is like anxious for something to happen. He just walks by and kicks the pot out of the way. He's like, "Oh, what you doing, shit?" Yeah,
You know what?
But that's something I hope they keep with the X-Men in the movies. Whenever like a fight kicks off, it should just kick in with that music. Dun, 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 dun. Like, oh man, it works so well.
It is pretty pumping.
Yeah, man.
I would also like to point out that there was a major missed opportunity for Chode and Beast not to hang out and talk. In the comics, at least, especially, like Chode is
Super
like
smart.
he's super smart. He's the pilot.
And
He's
the
the
engineer.
engineer. He's like all the brains of the crew, and they both would have a lot of like people
Yep.
judge us for how we look because we're
Exactly.
terrifying
Missed
monstrosity.
opportunity. I agree.
Although maybe everyone looks like Chode, and he's like dainty and delicate in his own.
Chode is
People's
dainty
way.
and delicate, is what you're saying?
Yeah, the dainty and delicate Chode. That's the name of his title, like Amazing Spider-Man. And,
Here's one of the highlights of the fight scene, though.
And the Chode.
Out of my way, woman.
Get out of your own way.
oh, why?
Like you're wrong. I enjoy it.
I
I
enjoyed it.
enjoyed it.
But
Yeah.
She just clocks him, man. Gladiator goes flying.
Yeah, I
That was amazing.
suppose Rogue's power level is a bit like
It can go up.
Where are we going here? Are you going to be
Take
able
a
to
minute.
one shot Juggy into the wall?
She can't fuck up Juggernaut, and Juggernaut got fucked up by Gladiator. So Gladiator's way.
She
ahead
was
of him.
mad.
But
He
she,
made a
like-
sexist remark.
She flew Juggernaut into the wall in the last episode and like put him down.
Yeah.
for a
Yeah,
few
that was
she's
pretty
games.
powerful.
around.
Yeah,
But
He's
she's
certainly
got
not
that
the
Miss Marvel
unstoppable.
power, which was never explained as to where Miss Marvel got her powers from. But anyway,
Mm.
it doesn't
that's
matter.
super depressing.
Read a
Much
comic
easier.
book, you nerds. So then the big fighting starts. Phoenix teleports everybody in the ship. Corsair goes for the Ken, but realizes it's actually Hobgoblin in disguise, who is one of the shape-shifting member of the Imperial Guard. After the skirmish, the Shi'ar adversaries escape, and the X-Men are forced to escape as well. The group run into Ken, who manages to get the crystal during the fight, and says an incantation that draws the X-Men and the Phoenix, sucking them into the crystal. And do you have the little dialogue that Jean Grey says when they're being, or is it the incantation itself?
If it's
It might be
this,
dying. Yeah.
I call upon the 9 dying stars.
No,
of the
that's-
world that
yeah.
has
That's
no
it.
name. The world
yeah, in the
that
world that has no name. I wonder what.
I like
world
that. I
is.
like the imagery of the world that has no name. That's nice.
We skipped something though.
Oh yeah.
Safety is our speed, Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Yes.
Shortly after that, he
Beast
says
holds
it's
the door
effort.
open.
Yeah, but he says it's the effort that counts when Wolverine gets up. He's like, "I'll give you a hand," and he like gets up.
It goes lower. Like Wolverine gets under there and
He's just
helps him,
like-
and it goes lower. And he's like, "It's the thought that counts." That was
the thought
hilarious.
that counts Wolverine, and then they come in and like get out on time.
And Rogue
I
is
love
like,
how
"Go,
I
man,
love
hold it
how
with me."
pretentious Beast is. Even when he's like holding up this door with brute strength, he still is like just quoting some
Emerson
pseudo
and, like,
intellectual
and then
Emerson line that he can
calling
say.
out-
Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Do you feel as though like when he goes into battle, he's just looking at quote books like on his
Yep.
way in. It's like what quotes?
Yeah, I
might
think
fly here?
he reads a lot of quote books
If I
upside
do
down.
something
I mean, you
cool, I
think
can
he's
use this.
well read. I don't know that he needs a book of quotes.
They probably give him the calendar with quotes on it every year because
They would.
he's
Yeah.
just
You
like
quoted a calendar. That's what he's going on.
Yeah.
He puts them in his pocket and tries to find a way to use them in conversation.
Yeah,
every
the
day.
old rip and quip,
ripping
like
quip.
Spider-Man's thwip and
Yeah.
quip, but
Yeah,
flip and quip.
yeah, it's very nice.
There we go.
Thus ends our episode with the well placed Sabin. Little-
Saban.
By
Leave
opening
me
a
alone.
breach in crystal decay
I'm gonna
has
pronounce it
unleashed the
incorrectly
power
forever.
of the negative galaxy inside.
You mean it might get out?
Get out.
I mean, we and everything we know may soon be pulled in.
That's the end of the episode. So that brings us to the most important segment because it's the one the show is named after.
Each of us will have to look into his own heart and decide.
Oh, is it what the
ratings.
show's named after?
Well,
You're pretty
X-rated.
quick
I
to
thought we
throw
were
me
just
under
here
the
to
bus
know.
whenever anybody complains about the name to you.
Well, that's what the bus is parked there for. I keep it.
It's a
I keep
goddamn
the engine
good name,
running.
You know it is.
Keep the keys
Until
in
my
and the
dying-
engine running.
I'll fight until my dying breath to have you admit it's a good name.
Hey, I used it. It's a good name.
You just
You don't
used
need to
make
fight
me
to your
happy.
dying breath.
Yeah, well, we're talking about jammers and chodes this episode, so it's more
Yeah, that's
appropriate than ever.
We did establish
Exactly.
last episode that Andre will beat the shit out
You gotta jam those chodes.
Jam
Jam them in
chodes.
there.
Yeah. So
Bring
ratings.
all the chodes, every chode, bring them in. We're ready for it.
You first, Dane. What do you think?
I don't know. It's hard to give a rating just because I haven't got I haven't rated any other episodes.
You've heard ours though.
I think you're pretty liberal with the nines.
I am.
sometimes.
Well, I like this show a lot.
I'd give this one an 8.
Devin's
I
like that
think-
meme with like when the guy's throwing the money everywhere. It's just like nines.
Nice.
X.
I give this one an 8. I think strong points were definitely. I love seeing the Imperial Guard and I love seeing the Starjammers. They're both such like niche characters. I mean, some of them are repetitive. There didn't need to be that many hobgoblins in the 616, but it's still cool to see the characters. And I do like it when they get to throw a couple Wolverines or robots at the Wolverine. That was nice. Classic, some dismemberment there, but.
They let him bust up robots.
Overall, pretty convoluted, and it's like everything they left. I wish they explored longer. So maybe that would have lost the 2 points. Like I really wish they'd stayed with the Starjammers, and now they're kind of cast aside. I really wish we had like more of a conflict build up to the conflict, and then it was cast aside. And now,
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna spend that much time getting like I really like this episode too, but if you're gonna spend that much time with the Starjammers, just make it a Starjammers episode. Like, don't try to jam some more X-Men in there just to make
It was called Starjammers.
I know, like, I know there was a lot going on because we didn't like as far as X-Men go, we don't get a lot of X-Men, which is fine, totally fine. But we get a lot of them in the show generally. But it's like if we're just gonna follow the Starjammers, let's just follow the Starjammers.
or like having had the episode start when as soon as they got there, it was all Starjammers. Like maybe they knocked them out at the end of last episode. Focus harder on the
Right.
But otherwise, like 8's still, in my opinion, pretty high. Like I like the characters, I like the episode, I liked the rollout.
All right. Well, I'm going to branch off of yours. I think I'm going to give it a 9 because it was a bit rushed, but it flowed well. I was okay with that, and they're trying to get a lot into the episode, and it was okay. I could have used more Starjammers for sure, but and it was nice to see the Imperial Guard. But my problem with the Starjammers was the interpretation of them. Like they all just sound so dumb. Like Raza doesn't sound like that. Like so I don't picture him sounding like that. Hepzibah, I don't picture her just like meowing like a cat. Chode is supposed to be the super smart one, and he just kind of sounded like this dumb like lizard.
I think
Gorn.
you guys have established smart people don't always quip though.
True,
Like
but
these.
They get called lizard lips by Wolverine.
so where it loses a point for me, because I did find it very entertaining and good ending, good cliffhanger ending with the Deken, hulking out, going all apocalypse, really. But yeah, I didn't really like what they did with the Starjammers as much. Could use a little bit more of them. I agree. So it loses 1 point for me from that. Could have docked it 2 for that maybe, but 9. Andre.
I mean, I kind of was thinking 9, but I also think 8. I'm kind of flip-flopping between those two. Because I want to go with 9 just because I really do like all the Starjammer stuff. I think it's really cool. The designs for them are cool. It's neat. It's like watching, I don't know, a cool movie when all of a sudden the Guardians of the Galaxy show up. You just get this cool like group of space pirates that, you never saw before. Their designs are neat. Their costumes are cool. They have interesting one of them at least has an interesting backstory and connection to Cyclops that we're just quickly learning ourselves.
One of them at least.
You could say they're the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
Nope, still not saying that.
No, I'm not saying that. But they're the original Starjammers, and that's fine. Starjammers is such a great name. It sounds like a band from the 80s. It's lovely. It's fantastic.
I pretty much love everything about
My name's Nigel Firth, and this is the Starjammers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, it works perfectly. Come on.
All right, let's get into some points because I'm looking forward to talking about some points of this episode. Andres never looks forward to anything, but then he gets here and he has a great time.
I don't.
That's what I mean.
I paint on a fake smile just to make people happy.
That's why he has the reputation as the grumpy curmudgeon one.
Like Pagliacci, I just come to town and do my little clown show and secretly cry inside the entire time.
Uncanny X points.
Uncanny.
The transition was great.
All right, Andre, you're going first.
Say one that everyone else is going to say, and I want to say before they do. All right.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
When Phoenix blasts into space, we get all these splashes of all these cool characters.
Oh, everyone was going for that one. Boo.
I know you all were.
We're booing his X point, everyone. Boo.
No,
right,
fuck you. I wanted to do it first.
I went first. All right.
We got a great cavalcade of little mini cameos of people feeling either the psychic heat of Phoenix's ascension into space or the ramifications across some kind of mystical sphere. We get Captain Britain. This is his only appearance in this entire show, which is a travesty. We get because he's such a cool character.
Yeah,
I really hope we get Excalibur in the new series.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Doctor Strange, who we see in his first appearance in the show. We do see Alex Summers, who knows Havoc. We've seen Havoc in flashbacks before, but this isn't at that scene. You just see him when, as a child with Cyclops, when Jean probes Corsair's mind. We see the Hellfire Club, who is not known as that in this series. I'm guessing it's the kids' show. They didn't want to use the phrase Hellfire. They call them the Inner Circle Club for some inexplicable reason.
No, they are the Hellfire Club's inner circle. That's always been a thing.
Oh, do they say Hellfire Club on the show?
I don't know, but like that group of Hellfire Club always called themselves the Inner Circle.
Yeah,
but I'd be surprised if they actually use the phrase Hellfire Club in it.
I think they will.
You see Sebastian Shaw, you see Emma Frost, and you see Mastermind. So that's pretty cool. It's neat seeing. I like when they duck in all these little cameos for other characters in the Marvel Universe. It's really building a feel for an extensive universe, especially when the Spider-Man cartoon came along and capitalized on that a little bit too. It was a nice seed sowing.
Yep, agreed. And it was cool that they showed like the mystical characters kind of got a sense of the Phoenix thing, and so did the telepathic ones. It was cool. All right, did you guys notice the mistake?
I did. That's going to be one of my points too. But you go ahead.
So Jean speaks in Lalandra's voice at one point.
Oh shit!
Yep.
I think I have the line here somewhere.
Okay.
About 15 minutes in, Jean Grey as Phoenix appears to speak a line. However, Lalandra's voice is clearly heard. Is what I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
audio visual.
Caught it right away. It was it took me. That's another reason it gets a 9. That little took me out of it for a second.
It's too bad it wasn't the other way around. It could have been like more justifiable.
Oh yeah, Gene just speaking through Lalandra. There you go. All right, Dan, your first X point.
Good, Dan. Come
I
on.
mean, my second X point.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, strange. Doctor Strange that we should all have chosen the same point. My X point will lead into my recommendation, but one of the things I thought was, for me, notably absent from the Havoc cameo or Alex Summers would have been their other brother from the same mother.
Oh,
Gabe.
isn't he like secret?
So there's kind of a secret brother, but it makes me wonder about the extent, and this is kind of something we discussed off camera earlier, but whether or not Professor X or whoever else, or for what reason Corsair doesn't remember his own son. Because if in this world, Professor X's original team of Vulcan, Gabe, Darwin, Petra, who were like killed.
Petra and Sway.
Petra and Sway. Yeah, there's a whole storyline as to why people don't remember them there.
Mhm.
This character just hasn't been written in. But I was also like saddened because he plays a really big role in some Shi'ar stories later.
Mhm.
So my point is no mention of Gabe.
No
What?
Gabriel Summers.
Oh,
Well, I
Gabriel
think because I would assume because that was an afterthought in the comics.
Oh,
Like when this series
well,
came out, there
and
was
it's-
no indicator of there being a third brother. That got created
also-
later for comics.
Too heavy for a kid's cartoon.
Yeah.
It's like his mother was made a concubine of Decan, and like,
Yeah. But it did also make,
But that was
raise
much
the
later.
question.
Like when this series came out, there was nothing in the comics about
Mhm.
Vulcan. He only came around much
No,
much
no.
later.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So they wouldn't have even had a frame of reference
Yeah.
to put him in the series.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I can still miss something that wasn't there.
Well, they could still add it later. I mean, they could.
Yeah, exactly. Still miss a
Maybe-
kid.
Well, the point that we were discussing earlier too is that you could almost headcanon it out to say that if they wanted to add that story later, because like say Darwin is a character that's been established and they want to like put a professor on the line with how he had his team and recreated it, it could be that he used his actual mental powers to erase it from everyone, and maybe Corsair was available when that happened. You know,
Yeah,
in such
yeah.
a way that even he doesn't remember.
I think Vulcan shows up in 97, but we'll see.
I'd like to think.
All right, back to you, Andre.
Back to me, Andre.
That's you.
The voice actor does the voice of Corsair. His name is Brian Taylor.
Mhm.
He has a very long history of being quite a few different things. But most notably, like most people that appear in this show, he has appeared on such standout Canadian shows as North of 60
Hmm.
and
Nice.
Millennium.
Oh,
which was
yeah.
a spin-off from the X-Files.
Yeah.
That finished on the X-Files. Yeah, most recently he was in a film called The Still Life of Anakin Meyer, a short film from 2019.
Hmm.
But prior to that,
Yeah.
he's been on a show called Jake the Kid through most of the 90s. So,
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Jake and the
yep.
Kid.
So, another one of these voice actors that has gone on to do a bunch of very Canadian type TV shows and movies.
Indeed. Okay, well, my next point is Ralph Waldo Emerson. So that quote that Beef said, the Beast, Beef.
Beef.
The Beast.
I like
Oh,
Beef.
Beefy.
Beef's a
Beefy
nice
Beast. He only said half the quote, actually, because what it actually is when skating over thin ice, our safety is our speed. So that's the full quote.
I feel like that context would have been important.
Yeah,
Who
well,
dropped the ball? Beast or Beef.
come on, Beast.
Whatever
Book
your
of
name
quotes
is.
had a ripped page, I guess.
Dropping in both. Yeah.
Anyway, back to you, Dan.
Well, because I was doing a lot of catch up, so watching the episodes in conjunction to this, like I was watching a bunch of stuff to lead up to this, so I better understood where we were.
Oh, I thought you meant you ate a lot of ketchup.
I ate a lot of ketchup as well.
I don't know how that would be good for the show, but I'm glad.
What did we say was good with spicy ketchup and aioli? Another
Yes.
callback.
Hush puppy.
But yeah, get that bouncing beef out of here. There's a definite like trend with siblings, and that was a thing that kind of seems to run throughout the course of most of the episodes in general. But because the last episode, Cry the Banshee, was so close to this episode, and there was this sort of like, you can't hurt me with my brother powers, between Banshee and his brother, like that's a kind of a
also the animosity between Juggernaut and
I was gonna say Juggernaut and
X,
Xavier. Yeah. And what's funny about it is, although there's a canon in a lot of the comics that like especially energy projectors can't project or hurt each other with their siblings. Mm-hmm. So it's cool to me that Banshee can't, and like Banshee and Tom Cassidy couldn't hurt each other, and similarly Havoc and Cyclops are unable to do damage to each other. So there's this like fraternal and like brotherhood, and in another sense, like you said, it goes to Juggernaut. Although Juggernaut can clearly hurt Professor X, Juggernaut himself has shields to protect himself from Professor X, and they do have their own counter suits. The same is not said for Liliana and Tekken, though. They do not have counter suit. Neither of them project energy, but it is interesting.
Powers
now. They're just bird people.
But it is interesting to note that another big like undercurrent to like the follow through to this episode is that as well, a sibling, not rivalry, but conflict. So that's my point. Mm-hmm. Siblings, man, can't live with them.
It's the worst.
Can't hit them with energy projection.
Can't.
Back to you, Andre.
I was going to talk about the character designs. There's a wealth of cool new characters in this episode, Starjammers and members of the Imperial Guard we've yet to see. And the designs are all really cool, very unique, very colorful. I like my space operatic stuff, especially in the Marvel Universe and in the early Marvel Universe. Fun and colorful. Like if you look at Jim Starlin's run on all his space books, anyone else that was doing space books at the time, everybody's so colorful and bright, and I love it. Like I wish comics would carry on that tradition in modern day. Stop trying to make everybody like so cool and make them fun. Like all these designs are fun. Like,
yeah, Grant Morrison.
Okay,
get rid of the leather.
I get it. I understand that. I do still love that comic. So, but
as a man who dresses in you said it wasn't a leotard.
You know what the X-Men really need? Leather and squishy faces.
No, I was gonna say, shouldn't you be pushing for the like fabric, not the leather?
Yeah, I am. Well, I am. I mean, I'm not gonna like. I don't think that them all wearing leather costumes makes that comic any less great. To me, it's not that big
in a Grant Morrison outfit.
No, it just wasn't as pleasing to the eyes.
Would it not be gross though?
Oh yeah, for sure. It'd be sweaty as balls by the end of it. But lately with some of the heat waves, anytime I wrestled, you've been sweaty as balls regardless of what you're wearing.
Interesting also that Chode wears the least clothes. Speaking of sweaty as balls,
do you think his powers are
basically
like maybe can he control his penis or make it like attack people or something? It'd be amazing. And the mighty Chode just like wraps around someone and throws him around.
Curry. Chode is actually Curry's like appendage.
Oh, that's disturbing.
This is going all off the rails.
Living embodiment of its penis.
All right, I'm gonna pipe up with mine. All right.
Anyway, no, the color designs are great. Everyone in the Shi'ar Guard looks really cool. Everyone in the Kenzel Army looks cool. The Starjammers look awesome.
The background,
Corsair looks like a guy that should be a space pirate. It's very well designed. It's a nice marriage of, and as a graphic designer, I really appreciate good design work. So it's like when you look at Corsair's general design, the boots, like the bandana, all of it is like the cool marriage of space and retro, like piratey stuff, which I think is really cool. I love those sort of designs when you see characters that kind of do that. Marvel's exceptionally good at it with their character designs.
All right, my next one is they mentioned the Shi'ar gods of Shara and Kithri. Thought I would give a little backstory on them. They were enemies, and then they were forced into marriage. And in doing so, they found strength and love. And as a symbol of their love, Kithri presented Shar with the Emkron crystal on their wedding day. Loki later manipulated them to fight Thor and stuff. But yeah, so that's
And it makes anybody who
Shara
ever got
and-
married feel inadequate or whatever they gave their wife for their.
Well, except for
Yeah.
Gambit. You like that
Yeah, he's
shit?
just like-
I get you one
Oh.
for Christmas.
for
I'll give you
Christmas
one
too.
more.
That's
Yeah.
even like
Not
less
even for a
important.
proposal, man.
Exactly. Gambit's a great gift giver.
Totally. What would he give her for a proposal then?
You
Like
want a galaxy
moon?
that you want
Two
a
Emkron crystals.
galaxy with no name that's composed in a multifaceted crystal.
You like that Infinity
get that for
Gauntlet
you,
shit?
Chef.
How about 9 dying stars? How's that tickle you fancy?
And then old Beast is like the many facets of the crystal allow entire galaxies to be.
How would they fit a whole galaxy in there?
A little game is just like somebody's simple cousin that doesn't like. It's like the guy you're standing beside at a magic show that just doesn't understand that it's all some kind of an illusion. Whoa,
Helicopter disappeared.
How to get that there rabbit over that hat there, chap?
Magic is real.
Funny because he could probably do some cool card tricks.
Dan, back to you.
Last X point. Again, this is still a bit of a carryover from the last episode. The team that they were kind of slowly making it into before this episode. So again, not like, I don't know. It looked like they were almost making the different team run with Wolverine, Storm, and like after, again, referring back to the whole post.
The Claremont age.
The Claremont age. But like, he like Professor X replaced his original team, that those kids, with what became the X Factor, and it was almost like the X Factor members, the 3 that we have in this series, since the other 2 are like
They're guests.
Yeah, they're guests. They were kind of removed from most of the narrative for the last couple episodes. Banshee's a big part of the Golden Age, or the next step. So I thought just the team shuffle up was kind of cool. To me.
I never noticed that. It's a good point.
Made some interesting dynamics. It wasn't complete, but kind of seemed more reflective of the Phoenix Saga as it was. So,
You got any more X points for us, Andre? A 10th?
Oh, I thought we already hit 10.
it was 3 each for 9.
Right.
Kind of building off your other one that we're setting up for the Hellfire Club, or the apex of the Dark Phoenix saga.
Yeah, there's a good
Well,
point.
yeah, I do
That's a
want to
tease
bring
for
up-
the Dark Phoenix saga for sure.
Oh,
Big
100%. Yes, which we know is coming as well. But the inclusion of a character named Hobgoblin as a Spider-Man fan, I just like that there are 2 Hobgoblins in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I was going to make that my 10th one if I had to
Hobgoblin
do it.
seems like an odd choice as well for that particular character, because he doesn't look particularly goblinish, nor is he some kind of shapeshifter. So why is he the Hobgoblin?
Also, correct me, Dan, have you ever seen that character before?
I don't remember.
I don't know Hobgoblin at all.
He
And we
looks
see a
like
lot of
Mentor.
Shi'ar stuff between me and Dan, and I've never seen that character.
It seemed like a weird choice to even pick that
He was
guy.
kinda
They
all
just
bugged.
needed a shapeshifter, I guess. So maybe they invented one. I
guess.
wonder if that's an invented character. Maybe we
It
could
is
ask a friend of
funny.
the show, Larry Houston.
Yeah, and it is funny to point out it's like the Shi'ar, specifically, like Gladiator, is also sharing a title with another Marvel character, right? Oracle probably also does.
Oracle was
If I had to
I don't
guess.
think
it's cool.
there's more than
Oracle
one
says
Gladiator
it's
in
a
the Marvel
Phoenix.
universe.
There is totally. The other one is a silly Daredevil, which just makes he in the Daredevil.
Oh, you mean that
show, he
character?
made
Yeah,
a suit.
sorry. Isn't he
Yeah.
the Gladiator? There's a distinct difference.
No, it's Gladiator.
Either way,
Cool character.
It would be kind of funny if
Couldn't
Clark comes
show.
down and is like, no. like this Gladiator is way tougher than that Gladiator.
Yeah,
None
Melvin
makes better
Potter, the guy
costumes,
that-
though. Yeah, Melvin.
Yeah. Melvin Potter.
Yeah, you're
All
right.
right.
I forgot about old Melvin.
That was X points.
Hey, check this out.
Hey, check this out. This is our comics reminiscences and recommendations segment. I guess I usually go first for this segment.
Yeah, but
But
you have
Dan,
so
I got
many.
so many. Why don't you
Yeah.
go first?
I only brought the one thing, and I've already kind
Two
of
things.
spoiled it. Well, the two there's only one worth reading for sure. This is War of the Kings.
War of Kings.
Despite Davin's extreme hatred for anything Inhumans,
I love War of Kings, though.
he loves War of Kings because the Inhumans kind of get well, some of them get the hint, but anyway, it's in the War of Kings. The Inhumans try and forge an alliance between the Inhumans and the Kree, and the Shi'ar Empire continuing to expand kind of comes in conflict with them at that time. Also, the leadership of the Shi'ar changes hands, like at least twice, I think, within this novel, and it kind of takes place in media res. Lilandra is, as it were, booking it around with the new guard or the new Starjammers, not the original Starjammers, because there was a second iteration, as it were.
Yeah,
with,
Havoc's team.
yeah,
Havoc led
with
the
like
Starjammers
Havoc,
for a
who again I've referred to, and one of the people that they're fighting is a big one that they're fighting is Vulcan in this issue. So Havoc and Cyclops' brother turns out to be an extremely difficult challenge for people to beat, even for Black Bolt, and probably has, I think, one of my favorite fights in comics, because there aren't a lot of people that can take a straight Black Bolt to the face, and Vulcan does, and keeps on ticking and keeps on kicking ass.
My favorite character in that story is Ronan the Accuser.
I really like
what they do.
I really like the evolution of Gladiator throughout the story. He goes through a lot, and it's like another one of, it's a more poignant challenge of his morality than this episode, but kind of brings the same thing when Alandra's like, Gladiator, you are a good man. Why do you work for my brother?
Yeah.
You know, it was like he really has to think. It gives him pause because his loyalty is to the crown, not to the person who wears it necessarily. So it's interesting. He's a more complex character, and it's fleshed out well. And,
was it in a Guardian? Was it in that or in a Guardians comic where like he has Drax imprisoned and Drax just stares at Gladiator the whole time? Like he's comic book Drax is so much better than movie Drax, but anyway, he's just staring at him with this like grin on his face, and he just keeps saying, "I challenge you, Gladiator," and he just says that like every couple of minutes, just over and over again. He's just like, "I challenge you, Gladiator." just to nag at him, right? And he finally accepts his challenge. And pretty sure Gladiator just like rips him in half or something.
yeah,
But anyway,
I was gonna say, I was like, I mean, Drax is cool and all.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool.
War of Kings. So largely recommended. The Realm of Kings is a follow-up series that kind of goes into how this resolves in the expansion. They're out Blastars, and as you can see,
Living bomb burst.
Yeah, like Blastar.
I love most Marvel cosmic characters. I'm a big fan of. Blastar's high on the list. There's an obscure
little
one
bit
from
of
Jim Starlin's run on Silver Surfer called not Terrex, what's his name? Tyrant, which I always thought was a cool character.
Oh yeah, Tyrant is another herald, the one he created.
But then so there's a little bit of negative zone stuff in there as well. Great story.
All right, well, I got a lot here. I'm gonna do this as quick as I can. So first off, the thing that connects to the episode, spotlight on Starjammers. Dave Koch remark, Terry Kavanagh writing.
This one's especially, or that one's especially like the episode.
Yeah, this one's really like the episode. It even has like a Captain Britain cameo. And this is a funny scene. They like dressed Xavier up as the Phoenix, and they're like, "Bald Phoenix."
Why do they do this?
Bald Phoenix.
They just wanted to fake somebody out or something. Anyway, it's a pretty crazy book. They end up fighting the Imperial Guard, which is like the episode, but it's like the classic Starjammers team. Like it's all the ones from the episode, but you also get Lalandra because she hangs with them.
She does hang.
And you get Binary, Carol Danvers. She was on the Starjammers. She's their heavy hitter for sure. Oh, Kitty's here with her claws. But what's also interesting about this book is in the back cover, they have all the specs on the Starjammer ship. I mean, yes, it is somewhat phallic if you look at it from this angle.
Kind of looks like a face. It's got a nose, ears, and a mouth.
But
an eye.
It's friggin' huge. Its length overall is, well, I don't know what that conversion is to kilometers, but it's 201,000 feet.
Ooh.
So I guess, yeah.
Weird that in that.
So it's like several kilometers huge. Like, yeah, see, like there's the scale. There's like 5 miles, so it's like 10 kilometers. So it's
maybe
like,
about 50.
It's like 40 kilometers, maybe. I don't
40.
know. I don't know.
Maybe 25.
Anyway, it's a
like looking at the.
It's big.
Argue about what the actual length of the ship is for a little while longer. This is very.
But it's funny. Like it's not a phallic ship. I don't know, Jimmy. It's like it's definitely 40. No,
it's got to be 40. No, it's 40. No.
Cat's sitting
is
on
it
my
cold
head.
out? If it's cold in space, so it's got to be a little.
Yeah,
small.
he just got out of the pool.
But there's cool things. There's 5,400. No, there's one of the parts on the ship is 22,000 acres of farmland.
Oh wow!
They just farm on the ship.
Yeah, they just farm on the ship. Like this, the Starjammer is a very cool ship. There's a lot of cool details here.
You got, a lot of things.
Read, yeah, I know. Read the spotlight on Starjammers. So another thing I want to talk about because I'm super hyped for the show that starts tomorrow is She-Hulk. So I'm going to take you through the history of She-Hulk very quickly. It starts off the Savage She-Hulk. Not really the She-Hulk we're going to see. It was more she's kind of like the Hulk. But still, there's some good stuff there. There's a great Michael Golden cover. I got him to sign it as well. The man thing there. Anyway, so from Savage She-Hulk, we get John Byrne's sensational She-Hulk. And it's an X-Men crossover here because she's going to rip up your X-Men comics if you don't read her book.
Also, what book does she have in the cover?
That's Savage She-Hulk.
Yeah, she's holding Savage She-Hulk #1.
Yeah, which is pretty funny.
Classic.
So this is where we get John Byrne creates the She-Hulk we all know and love. The one that breaks the fourth wall. The one that focuses on more lawyer stuff. So, I have a bunch of that run here. It's great. So, John Byrne, quintessential run on She-Hulk. Another one that I love, because this one really focuses on the lawyer stuff a lot.
That's a good
It's the Charles Soule run. I met him. He signed this for me, and he says, "Stay green." Love this run.
Were you green to begin with?
Maybe.
Okay.
Green with envy that he wrote such a good book. But this Daredevil crossover, which we'll get in the show.
Oh, that's classic.
And it's a lot of the lawyer stuff. Howard the Duck, I'm pretty sure, is in this.
Oh, yeah.
He lives in her building.
His office is in the same building.
But I love this run. It might be my favorite She-Hulk run, even more than the Byrne run. But I'll also special mention to the Dan Slott run. Also, lots of fun stuff.
Really
Dan
good.
Slott run's fantastic. I have all this.
Yeah, it's probably my third favorite.
Millie seems
She-Hulk
interested.
Millie,
I do love
is,
She-Hulk.
Millie is amazing. Can Millie
Millie's
be in every
great.
episode from now going forward?
Yeah, probably. She's a shoulder cat. She just climbs up me and
Aw,
sits
she's
here.
so adorable.
She's like my Curie.
Maybe.
And
Writing
all my
it, writing
recommendations? Maybe that was all of it.
Does that make me a
wasn't so
chode?
bad.
Oh, wait.
You're
It
Chode.
wasn't so bad. Oh, also, I did read that third issue of the 92 comic series that's out right now. That
The
it's
Exoswords.
the Exoswords one.
Is that good?
It was okay. It was my least favorite of that so far. It was just too much to try to cram into one issue, I thought. But I'm still there for the ride. It's still a fun ride, the whole series.
Nice.
Andre.
When my standard tradition of not suggesting anything has anything to do with anything we talk about, I'm going to talk about the newest graphic novel I read recently, which is Too Much Coffee Man. Cutie Island. So Too Much Coffee Man was a character created by Shannon Wheeler many years ago. Sort of a way to look at things about life and about relationships and work through this sort of character of Too Much Coffee Man, who drinks too much coffee. And a lot of it was all been collected in one massive volume that I have already that has all of it in it. It's beautiful stuff, very fun, cute, sometimes rather existential looks at life, which is sort of the stuff I like to do. But this is their more recent work. So if you have the compendium that has all of the work, which I do, there's more now, which is this little bit that has come out. So it's very good. And in fact, if you want, I can't give a better recommendation than the back quote, which says, "Too Much Coffee Man has a lot to say. He's a great apocalyptic philosopher for very troubled times." And that is quoted to Henry Rollins. So if Henry Rollins likes it, it's got to be good for me. So it's really good.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's fantastic.
All right. Those are some fine recommendations. Millie, be good. Here, take Millie.
Millie. Oh my goodness, Millie's so adorable.
She is very cute. She's getting all rambunctious here.
Rambunctious.
Oh, is that where we're at in the show? All right, let's do it. Yeah.
You see her.
My VCR with Andre.
Recently watched last night. I watched a film that I've been looking to watch for a while. Finally got a chance to watch it. It's on Disney Plus. It is called Prey. It is the new Predator movie.
Oh, I loved it.
Which takes place about 300 years ago, in which a native tribe encounters a primitive version of the Predator. It's very, very good. I believe critically, it's the highest rated Predator movie. It's right up there with. It's, you know what I think.
As good as the first one. It's different.
Yes, but very good in its own way. Amazing action. The Predator design is very cool. I loved how they found a way to keep some of the familiar Predator gadgets in the thing, but making them a more primitive version of them, like the shoulder cannon instead of shooting lasers or a blast of energy shoots actual like arrows in a sort. So like they keep it's like, because as they mentioned in further entries in the Predator franchise. They're always evolving, so it's neat to see a little slightly more primitive, but also familiar version of the technology. The design of the Predator is really cool.
I believe they call this one the feral predator.
Yeah, makes sense. You see it fighting bears and other things, and also getting involved with native tribes and a bunch of French explorers. And they did a really good job on it.
Like the bears. Those last 3 points were probably my least favorite points about the entire
When he fights the
film,
bear?
which I also enjoyed, was that all of the settlers were French people, so it was almost as if like
Well, they
you
were
could
fur
watch the
trappers.
movie. Yeah, you could all like, and you could almost, but like, yeah, you could watch the movie and be like, well, they weren't American. Like, how is it American? You're
Nobody
like,
was though at that point because that wasn't really America yet.
Yeah, and then just the CGI on the bear and the puma for me.
They weren't. That wasn't too bad. It wasn't perfect, but I mean, it was good enough for me.
For what the budget probably was on it, I think it was quite good.
But again,
I
apart
mean,
from
the
that,
Predator
like,
franchise has been
movie.
floundering with the last entry. The Predator was not good in my opinion. But this one, and I think that's mostly because of studio involvement. This one seems like them taking a step back and doing a simplified version. But I've been saying for years, like, I not to take credit for this because obviously it had nothing to do with me, but for years, like probably 10 years ago, I've been saying I don't understand why they don't just make a Predator movie in which the Predator fights different people from different time periods. So like do one where he fights Native Americans wasn't the list I would use for reference, but sure, that's great. Medieval knights, do one where it fights cowboys, do one where it fights samurais, all that would be Vikings, all that would be great.
This is one of the debate topics on Sunday. I'm doing trivial debates again over on Super Mater Brothers there. And one of the questions is, where does the Prey series go next, basically?
Although if you watch through the credits, it appears as though they already kind of tell you what's coming next.
Yeah.
So, which is interesting. And some people sort of recognize that gun that she uses as being the one from Predator 2, where they gave it Danny Glover. I actually think Predator 2 is an underrated film as well. It's actually a really good movie, I think.
It is interesting, too, because, like, Predators is agreeably a terrible movie by comparison.
No, I actually like Predators. The new one wasn't,
Okay, because I was going to say that, interestingly enough, Predators is kind of like what you were suggesting, but in a different sense. Like, they pulled the greatest warriors of all the different types on Earth at that time.
Yeah, at that time.
I don't think they take them through history, but they take them from across the globe.
No, they don't time travel, but no.
But, like, that's
like
the
a
next
Yakuza
step
guy. There's a, ex-military guy. There's a serial
killer.
That
that played the guy that played Nightcrawler, but is also in the movie, and he's an incredible actor.
Alan Cumming?
Was it Alan Cumming? No, maybe
I don't think he was in Predator.
Who's the main guy in Predator? That's the mercenary guy.
Oh, Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody.
Oh,
yeah. I thought he was poorly cast for such a great actor.
He's not really an action actor, but I know I liked him in the movie. I thought it was. Apparently, originally in that movie, they run into a guy that's been surviving on the Predator planet for a while, which is played by Lawrence Fishburne. And I guess originally they wanted that character to be Dutch from the original Predator movie. Which, Schwarzenegger was unavailable, so.
Or the budget was unavailable.
Yeah, I think he might have been the governor at the time.
Yeah, I think he may have been as well.
Yeah. All right, where are we at now?
Root down.
Oh yeah, root down. Where's root down? There it is. Krakoan Gardening. Welcome to Root Down, Krakoan Gardening with Davin. Jeez, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about on this one.
You picked some beans for me.
I did pick some beans for Dan. Very good. You know what? I'm going to switch this up. It's going to be a bit of one of these combos again. Yeah, I'm going to talk about cooking the beans instead. We're switching.
What's cooking?
Going on now. What's cooking? All right, we got hot cooking with Davin. So beans. All right, I just picked a bunch of beans, gave Dan some, but I've been making a lot of bean casseroles lately. So that was my green bean casserole. You take your cream of shiitake mushroom soup, and you mix your freshly, you can quarter the green beans if they're very long, or cut them in half, something like that, And you mix that with the mushroom, cream of mushroom soup, and you get some crispy onions. Put all that in there. The crispy fried onions, you get in like the bags, Yeah, get that in there. Mix all that in there. A little bit of soy sauce, some seasonings. You know, let that bake in the oven. Then take the top off and get some cheese on the top there and broil it to get that nice, you know, hard, chewy, cheesy crust on the top. There you go. Bean casserole.
A little bit of panko?
No, that's what you use the crispy onions for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little more crispy onion too.
No carrots?
That's hot cooking with that right there. That's what you do with your fresh beans. Or just, you know, enjoy them as fresh beans. But casserole. That's hot cooking. All right, next segment. What do I got here? Here we go.
You must believe me. I'm not going mad.
The madness of X-Men, Dan.
The madness
Tell me if your
of
madness
X-Men,
X-Men, Dan.
Yeah.
Oh man, I
Give
mean,
us a glimpse
this
into your
is
madness.
this is a pretty mad, cute little kitty.
Anything you want to gripe about or you're super excited about?
Kind of just
The madness of X-Men,
kind of right in the middle of both of those things. I've just had a lot of really great times with family and friends because of different things like anniversary, family reunion, and just got home from a wedding yesterday. And although all of those experiences were, you know, heartening and great, they can be draining. So I'm really looking forward to having like a kind of, you know, a week that we're not hosting family members and everything. But that said, congratulations, Brandon and Jenny, for getting married. Woo! Woo! I'm fairly certain they're not going to watch this. But if they ever did, congratulations to them. And another thing I'm quite excited about, X of Swords HeroClix.
Oh yeah, we're going to open the X of Swords HeroClix set tomorrow. That'll be fun.
You doing an unboxing video?
We could. We could. Do that for the patrons. Not that they'd care. It's a very small niche market of people.
Last
who care
two
about
viewers
HeroClix.
drop off.
Yeah, exactly. HeroClix, we're out of here. No way, HeroClix is awesome. People should play it.
Yeah.
X of Swords looks like a fun set. All right, you know what? Here's how we'll finish the show off today.
Hey, look who I found coming to join the party.
Glad y'all decided to join the party.
Yeah, let's party like apostrophe 97. Actually, you know what? This is not really a party like it's apostrophe 97 segment. This is more of a... Oh, did I get rid of the theme music for that one? That's a shame. Oh, no, wait. Here we go. I have a new music we can use. Ha ha! Great Expectations. What do you think? What do you want to see in 97?
Ooh.
Or in the, since we're starting to hear rumblings of the MCU X-Men.
Well, expectations or anticipations or predictions. I have heard rumblings of the potential for Rogue to be in Marvels because of her like run-in. I don't know for sure if this is ever going to be the case, but I have it like in my head that the reason the two switched places is for that very purpose. So why Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel are in different places now, it's like, boom, Miss Marvel's suddenly a mutant. And by the way, you're across the galaxy and Carol Danvers is here. Not that Carol Danvers and mutants have ever had anything to do with each other. And so my hope / expectation is that maybe that she gets a little of the touch and then ends up in a coma after the end of Marvels, with Rogue being like, hey, sugar.
Okay, I'm going to branch off that. I hope then she joins the Starjammers.
Rogue or Carol?
No, Carol. Because
Yeah, I
she
was gonna
actually
say,
does
like,
join
what?
the Starjammers. And then, like, she stops calling herself Captain Marvel and starts calling herself Binary and starts wearing that binary costume.
Right.
That would be awesome. And I just want to see MCU Starjammers. I think that'd be an awesome movie. Better even than Guardians of the Galaxy.
Could be.
Because it would be different. It would be them, like, fighting off against, like, the Shi'ar Empire, which would also be awesome to see in a movie.
She's like rubbing up against the mic.
Oh, my God. You're very cute, Millie.
Very cute, Millie. Sneezing all over the place.
So, yeah, that'd be really cool. And I do think we'll see Vulcan in X-Men 97. I think that's an obvious storyline to pick up because they already have Corsair in the show and sort of some of that backstory built up in the show.
And I'm calling it Professor made Corsair forget with his mind powers. His own son.
What about
Oh
you,
my
Andre?
God.
Anything you want to see in the MCU X-Men, or
Millie. I want to see Millie in the MCU.
you want to see more Millie?
Oh, Millie.
He's adorable. Millie. My God, that cat's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's great.
MCU X-Men. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see the. What you mean, like the next season, 97?
Yeah, or the MCU X-Men. Because we're starting to hear some rumblings of that stuff these days.
Alpha Flight. I would like to see a live action version of Alpha Flight in the
That's
Marvel Universe.
excellent.
That would make me very happy.
choice.
I want to see a live action Puck, live action Vindicator, live action Shaman, live action
Sasquatch,
Squanch.
Sam Squamch. Yep, we'd call him up here.
Snowbird, and so I want to see her spread her tiny wings and fly away. I want to see it all.
It's just the movie starts with that
Anne Murray
that
song?
CBC thing with the the Anne Murray cup with the owl just flying. It's just and then it transforms into the actual movie. Every Canadian would be like,
well, as a nod to Canadians and an extra piece of trivia, that song wasn't written by her. It was written by Gene McClellan, who was a folk singer from PEI that only made one album. And it was amazing. And then they sold that song to Anne Murray, but shortly after he shot himself. So the story ends sadly. But he,
at least it was still Canadian. But wow,
it would be a very funny.
It's still Canadian.
Disney Plus series, I think. Alpha Flight Disney Plus series. That's a bit tongue in cheek. It knows it's ridiculous because that team sort of is a little bit, but it also does serious stuff. Like you have the serious stuff with North Stars.
I'd be a little bit
fun be had with the live action X-Men show.
I'd be a little bit afraid
to
it could get away.
An arcade and strange things like that.
Make it produced by the same people who did Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
I think that was produced.
It would have to be produced by Canadians who love Canadians, because if an American produced it, you could get just all the worst stereotypical.
Yeah. It would be like when Brian K. Vaughan wrote "We Stand on Guard," and I love Brian K. Vaughan, and I have that series, but it's just like every cliche Canadian thing thrown into it.
His wife's Canadian, isn't she?
Yeah, and that's where you got those cliche Canadian things, probably. But I assume she probably mentioned things to him, and he's just gonna be like, "Nah, nobody don't know what that is."
What part of Canada is she from? Because that's important.
I think Vancouver area.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's exactly. New Canada.
New Canada.
Hollywood.
They're just catching up.
Canadian
we just lost all our BC listeners. God.
We love you, BC listeners.
We do. I actually do love it. The Rockies hold a place in a special place in my heart.
Haida
Yeah. Yeah.
Now known as Dodging Geats. I think they're changing the name again.
Oh, yeah.
The artist formerly known as the Queen Charlotte Islands, now known as Haida Gwaii, soon to be known as Dodging Geats.
Now known as the Millie Islands. Anyway. All right. Let's move on then, shall we? Where's that theme?
Cats are really theme.
Oh my God, she's all over me.
Hey, don't sneeze on me. That's the homework thing.
Mm-hmm. Homework from Professor Zandre.
Watch the next episode. It is. We'll leave it there. Next episode. The next episode is
Phoenix Part 5.
Phoenix Part 5. Child. Where's it at? I just had it. Child of Light.
The Child of Light.
If you don't give it a 10, just for
take a cursory glance at who's in that episode, in which we see other members of the Imperial Guard we haven't seen yet, and some fun little cameos, especially from perhaps a favorite Andre Myatt character that may be tattooed on his body at this very moment.
Oh, it's the hand.
War Machine.
Oh, this is interesting. Yeah,
I'm like, as I lean slightly this way.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, Andre, why don't you
tell
us?
But it's funny we mentioned the Alpha Flight, because they make a cameo in the next episode as well. So.
They do.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I'm looking forward to the next episode. It's going to be X-rated at nights.
After hours.
Oh yeah, after hours.
After dark.
After dark. That's it. Yeah, exactly. All right. So, what's going on with the Graphic Histories podcast, Andre?
It's currently on hiatus.
Currently on hiatus.
Hopefully back in the fall after the Frankenstein play's over. I'm just too busy right now. I'm on this other podcast. Takes all my fucking time.
Yep.
Especially when we start 15 minutes late because of technical difficulties.
Yeah, that was my bad, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us.
Oh, it's fine.
I'm glad it wasn't my Bedlam powers.
No, and I should have checked there first, actually. But it shouldn't have set. I never changed that setting. I don't like when computer programs change their own settings and don't ask you first. I'm not a fan. Wonder Forge could fix that. I don't know. Probably. Well, Locutors of Trek. We just put out a thing finally. We had a Class L probe the other day. That was a lot of fun, where we asked ourselves, does Admiral Power corrupt absolutely?
Admiral Power, yeah. Is there a bit of good Admiral?
Yeah, exactly. Admiral Power. And also we asked ourselves, does Deanna Troy commit professional malpractice by reading the emotions of the crew? And what else did we ask ourselves? Something else too. Check it out.
Would
Tune in
Diana
and check it
Troy
out.
and Professor X get along?
Yeah, what was the other one? Anyway, it's good debates. Good debates. Oh yeah, the other one is today is a good day to die. A better warrior's motto than a victory is life. Victory is life. That was the other one we debate. We didn't debate. This is our show where we discuss debates later in more detail. So anyway, we did that. That was fun. There's another regular episode of the Locutors of Trek coming out real soon. I'm pretty well done editing it. Also listen to my cousin's podcast, Cousin Dave, who was here last week.
Hey, Dave.
Give your boy.
And check out their Star Trek content over there. They have a ton. Sam wants to know if Locutor is a video pod. All of our segments are, Sam. All of our special shows like Class L Probes, Debate 9, Trouble with Trivia, The Writer's Room. We have a lot of different stuff that we do. But our regular podcast is audio only. And that's where me and Dave just take a theme. Communication, biology, astrophysics, could be anything, and we just shine that through the lens of Star Trek. But yeah, check out our video stuff on wherever, Sam. YouTube for sure. Yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah. Also, check out Trivial Debates, 21st. What's that? This Sunday? I think so. I'll be on there. Check out you'll see what my answer was for what would be the next best Frey movie. Yeah, I'm looking forward to winning that debate.
I'd like to take credit for your other answer.
Oh, yeah. Well, you helped me get there for sure. I'm going to win that one, too. Special mention Dan in that one.
He didn't ask you a question.
Oh, sorry, Sam.
Locutor's a video pod, he said.
Yeah. We already answered that.
Oh, well, I wasn't paying attention.
What is the link? Just write Locutors of Trek in at YouTube or even Facebook. A lot of the video stuff should be on there as well. Just write it in there, Sam. You'll find it. There cannot be another Locutors of Trek. We invented that word in a way.
I created a separate one just to example yours.
What? You didn't even send your buddy. You said you were going to send a buddy to my Star Trek podcast. You sent them to your own clone podcast.
Got him, motherfucker.
You're getting real insidious.
That's right.
Trivia debates where Jeff made sexist comment about baseball. Oh, yeah, he did do that, didn't he? Well, you're forced into weird positions in a debate game.
Do it have to do with a league of their own?
Yeah, I think so. No, it wasn't. Oh, I remember. Was that Jeff?
Was
Jeff.
the Deep Space Nine episode when they play baseball against
the debate was what would you add to baseball to make it interesting? Because it's very boring. He was scantily clad ladies, and I shot that argument down. I was like, that's not very feminist of you, Jeff. I said. Anyway,
cheerleaders.
Jeff on the podcast. He's getting married next week. I'm going to Ontario to Jeff's wedding.
Congratulations, Jeff.
That's why we're on Monday next week. Oh, Davin should have won that round. You're right. I should win every time I'm on that show.
I watch them.
So humble.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, I'm getting off on a mad tangent here. If you'd like to support our show, you can at patreon.com/X-Men Review Show. Oh, and also check out Super Mater Brothers. That was the underplug I needed to make there. Yeah, and contact us at xmenreviewshow@gmail.com or just message me on Facebook if you like. I'm cool with that kind of thing. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Patreon, YouTube. We're all there. You can find our audio-only version wherever you get your podcasts. They go up the day after the live feed. And if you like us, please rate, review, like, subscribe. You know, all those things. We'd love to hear your reviews, and that kind of stuff does help our visibility. It gets more eyes on our wonderful show here. I think that's it. If you guys got any closing statements, am I on the next one for Redemption? Is Redemption next? Yeah, I'll probably be there. Oh wait, no, I'll be on the road. There's a wedding. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, let me drop that banner because it's driving me nuts. But all right. Oh, Sneezy Rosie, Millie? Do you have anything to say, Millie?
I guess not.
Oh, look at that. So cute.
I'll take her time to thank you guys once again for having me on the show. Much appreciated.
Oh, dude,
No
anytime.
problem, Dan. Yeah, man. Like,
X-Man Dan, you're in anytime you want. Open invitation.
I'm sorry I missed the Mojo and the Alpha Flight ones. I'm a big
Long
fan of
Shot's
those.
coming up in a couple weeks.
Is Mojo coming with him or just Long
Yeah,
Shot?
Mojo's in that one. All right, we might see
Long Shot
X-Man Dan
Mojo
for
are
Long
package
Shot.
deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
they are a package deal. Check out the song "Long Shot Kick the Bucket." That's a sweet freaking reggae song. Anyway,
I can't believe we went through this whole episode and didn't play Jammin.
I've quoted it in our write up.
Does it slap?
Does it slap?
Hmm.
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
Yeah, it slaps. All right,
Good.
catch you X time, everybody.
Next time.
1, 2.
The end, like,